everyone, it's Jazz, it's Sunday, it's the mighty West Ham United, the mighty Hammers against the mighty's Villa. West Ham won, mighty Villa won, 1-1, not quite enough for both the teams I think. Villa might be slightly happier because they're a bit further up the table than us. I think we needed a win, didn't we everyone? I think we needed a win, especially after Bournemouth won yesterday. Looks like Southampton have got a point at Man United. And if I look at the tables, everyone, let's have a look where the mighty West Ham are. West Ham United are fourth from bottom. They are on goal difference out of the bottom three. So you got Southampton on 22 points. You got Leeds on 23, Bournemouth 24, West Ham 24, Leicester 24. Everton 25, Forest 26. So it's ever so tight in there. And before I go into it, let's have a look at West Ham's fixtures. So, yep, let's look at West Ham's fixtures. I think Ryan's going to join us in a minute. I can't see you, lad. Are you there, Ryan? You there, lad?
My camera's not working.
That's all right. You look better like this. That's fine.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Right, I'm going to bring you in a minute. But basically, mate, we are fourth from bottom. 3 teams on 24 points. So 22, 23. 3 teams on 24, which is us. Then 25, 26, very tight. Our next 3 league fixtures, everyone, before we get into the chat and bring Ryan in. We are home to Southampton. We are home to Newcastle, and we are away to Fulham. So those are the 3 fixtures coming up. And then we've got Europa, home to AEK Larnaca this Thursday coming, that I'm going to be at, which kind of should be an easy day out, I think, for West Ham. So a lot of home games coming up. Before I bring Ryan in, mate, let me have a quick look at the chat. Nathan is saying another shocking managerial performance by the one and only David Moyes. How long can we carry on? Absolutely right, mate. Yep, it is, Richie. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see, mate. Yep, Cornet's back on, mate. At least it's someone who can actually run with the ball, make things happen, try to make them happen. But I know 1 or 2 things, like he got offside a few times. We'll go into it in a minute. Ryan, what's your immediate thoughts, mate? And welcome. What's your immediate thoughts? Are you happy with the point, or it's not enough looking at the results?
I'm not happy with a point at all.
Yeah.
But a point's not good enough, really. We need to win. I mean, if we won today, I think we'd have gone 14th. But obviously, it doesn't really do anything. There's like a point in it, anyways. But it just looks better. But it's I don't really know. We played better. We played. We didn't play too bad. We pressed high up the pitch. We won the ball back on the front. We were on the front foot for most of the game, even though we didn't have possession. But we did win the ball high up the pitch, which David Moyes doesn't normally do. And he made Emery change his tactics, which is something he doesn't normally do. He doesn't make a manager come and make them change their way they play. So the first 20, 25 minutes was bad when they scored. But after them scoring, we were the better team. But I still think, like, bringing Fornals on. Why has he brought Fornals on? Like, what is that about? He's shocking. He is absolute. Fornals is terrible. And I don't care how much people say he runs and he loves West Ham. He's not good enough. And he seriously is not good enough. But, you know, if he's coming on over Scamacca and Cornet, then I don't really know what he's doing.
Right. What I'm thinking of, mate, is what kind of Carter is saying. Hello, Carter, is, Ryan, you've got to, out of that setup, you've got to take, well, Souček out, I think. I'm not kind of blaming him for anything, but for me, you've got to take him out or take Paqueta out. It's up to you. I'd rather take Souček out, and you've got to put Scamacca up front next to Ings. And, mate, Ings, it's just feeding off scraps. I mean, I know he got offside at least once, I remember, when he shouldn't have, but, mate, he didn't really get much of a service. It's a waste of time playing him by himself up front. Obviously, we'll go into their goal later on, but yeah, it's 3 people. Agard, big time at fault for the Watkins header, but what led up to it, mate, was I think Bowen, and especially Kehrer could have done a lot
Oh
better in
God.
stopping that ball going in, mate. So the first thing I want to tackle, mate, we've got to play two up front wings, mate, and take
We do.
Souček out. Yeah.
He doesn't work in a like by himself. He doesn't work like that. But I don't know because I don't really think Skamaka wants to play for us. So is there any real point in him playing anyways? If that's how Moyes is the one who's made him like that. But then is there any point of bringing him on if he doesn't want to play for us? Because it would just ruin us more and it'll be awful for the dressing room. But I don't really know because I thought Skamaka was going to be a top signing this season. I did really think he was going to do well, but I haven't really seen that much for him to think that, if we play him, he'll definitely get the goals. Because a lot of the games I've been to, he's fluffed some big chances. I remember what was one of the first games I went to, the FCSB, and he went through on goal and dragged it well wide of the goal. And he's 40. I think for 40 million we could have got a better striker, anyways. But I mean,
I think with Skamaka, there's obviously looks like something's going on. Which why does it always happen at our club? The guy has hardly played, hardly been given a chance. What is David Moyes annoyed about? It's just really annoying at our football club. I think, yeah, it's just really weird. The other thing, everyone in the chat and you, Ryan, a lot of empty seats there today, mate. A lot of empty seats,
Who was going to go want to watch it, though? Who's going to go want to watch
Well, usually, like I said,
want to go watch it?
Yeah, because largely the season ticket holders, you give it away to your family, friends for free. And it looks like, Ryan, they didn't want it for free either. They didn't
want to watch it. God. Absolutely. We're taking off our most talented player on the pitch, Paqueta, our only creative player other than Ben Rama, and we're bringing Fornals on. All that guy knows how to do is run. And he runs with a limp. He had two big chances as well.
Yeah, I mean, welcome to Raja. Rice. Yeah, Rice is up and down, mate. Nearly gave away a penalty with Bundia. But Rice, you can tell, Raja, what Rice has been told to do, certainly today, was really play CDM in front of the back four. Souček and Paqueta were told to advance a bit more. So what Moyes is doing, Ryan, he's telling Souček, it's your job to go next to Ings up front. I don't get that, mate. I'd rather have a proper striker in it because Skamaka's got the height, mate. He's got the height.
Exactly.
And I don't know how many crosses, how many corners we had. It wasn't just not going to go in. And another thing, Ryan, is again, Bundia really man grappling Danny Ings and one or two other players. We could have easily got another penalty, I think.
Mate, just jump to the floor. He'd have won it. He would have won it.
I think it is. But looking at our chat, Ryan, they are fuming as we normally have been this season, mate. But again, generally, just looking at our play, it's the same formation generally. Very slow build up. Quite isolated up front, Danny Ings, and I felt sorry for Bowen today, Ryan. I thought he was trying to make so many things happen. Often they doubled up on him. He still wiggled out the two players.
He was good. Bowen was good today. He was really good. Same with Ben Rama. I thought Ben Rama was fantastic today, but I thought both of them were equally as fantastic. They were our best two players on the pitch, but Aston Villa's way of playing, where they played that high line and obviously we had to punt the ball up to get it over the top. It wasn't like, this is boring Moyes tactics that I've seen in the comments. It's nothing to do with it. They played a strategic plan to play a high line because we don't have a quick striker and they don't know Danny Ings isn't quick. So why would they play into how he would like the ball to his feet around the edge of the box? Because he's not that fast. So it was just the wingers, really. We had to play the ball to the wingers, and that's all we had.
It is, and when Bowen did look up, mate, we were struggling to put again, Ryan, at home. We're struggling to put people into the box, and also I think Villa had 65% possession, and they're away. What are we trying to do? And looks like you agree. It was still not very attractive to watch. Quite boring again. It's just not very exciting, mate.
No. That's the thing. It was very. If you went there today, you were bored out of your brain. Like, it was boring because all we had was those long balls going diagonal, which is credit to Unai Emery with how he set up. Credit to him with the high line. So all we had was that diagonal. So that's it. Moyes doesn't make he makes his own bed and he has to lay in it. Really, Moyes, because he's picked these players for 180 million. And he doesn't want to play some of them. So he's made his own bed and he's got to line it now because he has really screwed the whole of West Ham up.
I think so. I think the only slightly good thing I can see, mate, I like, the more I see Emerson every game, Ryan, the more I like him.
Yeah, I think he's good.
He's clicking along slowly. Certainly, so listen, he's not a world beater, but he's kind of, he'll be a good squad player, I think, in time to come.
He's a good attacking fullback as well. That's the thing. He is a great attacking fullback.
Agard again, mate. Another mistake, isn't it? Another mistake from Agard. I mean, there's no excuse for. I mean, I know the cross should have been, and yeah, Kera can't stop the crosses going, and it is a concern. But Agard should have dealt with that quite easily. Then I think there was another Watkins chance in the second half, but Zuma got close to him and blocked it off. So I think that kind of helped. But certainly good to see Agard and Zuma together. I think we all want to see that every game. Left-footed, right-footed, or both speak French, including the goalkeeper. So see how that goes, mate. So yeah, they kind of scored like that. And our penalty, Paqueta being very, very clever. Something we don't do enough of. And mate, what a penalty from Benrahma. What a penalty.
Mate, that was a good pen. Good pen. Especially against Emi Martinez as well. He's good at saving pens as well, Emi is. So
I thought that Danny Ings was going to take it. I had a feeling I thought he might, but listen, he that's the way to take a penalty. Just have something in your mind, and he put his foot through it, and nice and high, and that was going to be difficult to kind of save from then on, really. Apart from that, I'm noticing, like I said, mentioned Souček and Ings being constantly fouled, and it did take a while, but again, it took ages before one of our players went up to the referee. I think Danny Ings was mentioning that you got to keep an eye on this, as Bundia is kind of being a bit of a pain. And then I've seen Watkins do Kera a couple of times. Bowen, no one in support, like I said. So those were my comments up to half time, mate, and then when you go into the second half, everyone in the chat, and Ryan, again, mate, the opposition make the first substitutions again.
Yeah.
You know? It is. And you can see again, Ryan, is when it always goes flat, especially at West Ham, around the 55, 60 mark. It begins to, the other team are coming in because they've made those substitutions, and we don't do nothing, mate, for another 15 minutes,
Yeah.
And
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched it, mate.
See what happened with Paqueta?
Yes, he went down the tunnel, didn't he, when he went off?
Yeah, he came back, but he just walked off. He was fuming.
I got a feeling he might have wanted to go to the toilet, mate. I don't know.
Yeah, but he didn't even shake Moyes' hand. He just walked. He was like, I'm gone. I thought he looked well happy.
I'm still confused about Paqueta, mate, in terms of why did we pay that much for him? He's not a bad player, but I wouldn't pay 53 million for someone in that position. I think I'd rather, like I kept saying, I'd rather not buy Kera, not buy Paqueta, and buy 30 million left back and right back. Easy saying it now. That's what I would have done. But listen, it's sometimes easy saying it.
But then at the same time, if we had, I don't know, a manager with half a brain, Paqueta would be absolute well beater. So it is the manager that comes down to him, realistically, because we saw at the World Cup, he was brilliant for Brazil.
And another thing is, I know we're often easier to have a go at the board, but how would you feel if you're the board, if you've seen how Skamaka's being used, how Paqueta's being used, or certainly how well he's playing? That's 80, 90 million down the drain, and you're not seeing anything in return for your money if you're the board. It's not good, mate, and it is what it is. Cornet, I wasn't watching that much when Cornet came on. How did he do?
Cornet was all right. I mean, if Cornet looked fitter, then he could just play 5 minutes realistically. So I'd have thought in the 60th minute, you know what, keep Ings on, put Cornet up top with him, go 4-4-2. As we saw with Burnley, when they had Weghorst and him up top, that he played very well in a two-striker formation, Cornet did. So I thought, if we brought him on, I mean, then they wouldn't be able to play a high line anymore because of Cornet with Ings. So, but obviously Moyes doesn't think like that because he's a dinosaur, but what can we do?
Yeah, you're right about that. The other thing I noticed, mate, once again, is that when we've got the ball, there's no one making runs, making himself available. I think there's one instance where Paqueta very, very poorly gave it away because he just didn't see anyone making a run, and he passed into a Villa player, mate. So we don't have that either, do we?
No, we don't. Well, that's the problem.
And the other thing you noticed was like there, Bundia. We haven't got any ball carriers like Lingard, isn't it? We did it for a couple of years ago for us. We haven't got one of them. Fornals, and mate, Fornals, wow, dreadful. The first two kind of chances he had, wasn't it? The touch and then
there was a comment somewhere that
yeah.
me off about. Where is it? Let me find it. I've got to find it now because someone said that I was clueless for saying Fornals was bad. I've got to find it.
No, Fornals, he two really, really good chances. The second one was the worst where Bowen pulled it back for him, and like Tony Gale said on the commentary, he should have controlled it first, and then he should have.
He put Fornals not good enough. You are deluded. Once he plays in his favoured central midfield position, he is a good player. I have never, ever, ever thought Fornals is a good player wherever he's played. He is shocking.
It's Hammers Mikey. Hope you're doing well, mate. I'm always he's a bit like Joe Cole or one. You don't know where to put him. I mean, is he too small for CDM? He's not.
At least Joe Cole was good.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, he would have played in a Ben Rama role, to be fair, in that middle, the three behind. But I don't know where to put Fornals because, like again, you saw it today. Sometimes his touch, his finishing, that important pass, it's kind of missing. Yeah,
he's like a utility player. He can play like everywhere, but he's always a 5 out of 10. Like he's not like a 9 out of 10 in a certain position. He's like 5 out of 10.
I think obviously Moyes likes him because he's got an engine on him. He keeps running and running and helps the fullbacks. That's kind of, it wasn't very good. And then, he kind of he had to get better after that, didn't he, really? And then the thing is, when Cornet came on, Danny Ings went off, mate. We technically didn't have a striker on the pitch when you think about it, really.
Yeah, he fought Cornet because he played striker for a little bit for Burnley.
No,
he's now a classic number 9.
Again, he does play up front, but in A2, it's like Danny Ings. But mate, it is Skamaka. I don't know. Something's going on, mate. Something's going on.
He didn't come on
mate.
at all, did he?
No, I don't think so. No.
So he didn't come on at all today, and he didn't play in Europe.
But
he did play.
No, he didn't come on, mate. I've just had a look. No, he's not come on. And that's even with Antonio not in the squad, mate. He still didn't. And Antonio would have come on. Antonio would have definitely come on. He's one of his favourites, mate.
But realistically, this is like very out of the box. But at the moment, like I'd rather bring Antonio on than Skamaka. Because watching him on Thursday, he had the ball played up to him against what I'd say League One opposition, and he couldn't hold the ball up. He was awful on Thursday when trying to hold the ball up. I'd rather bring Antonio on. At least I know he's going to run.
So, in summary, everyone, what me and Ryan are thinking is that you've got to play 2 up front. You've got to move the ball faster. You've got to run to make spaces. And you've got to, the coaching in terms of the defence, it's got to be a bit better. Where Agard and Kara just keep getting caught out time and time again. And forget me and Ryan wanting 2 up front. Yeah, there's passages in this game where we didn't have a striker up front.
No, absolutely shocking.
And I do not want Danny Ings outside the box and running around trying to win the ball back. Or
what is he doing? Oh, God. Danny Ings has never. We're making Danny Ings play as like a number 10 as well as being our number 9. It's shocking. He's supposed to pass to himself, I think.
Listen, he's 29, 30. He's not sort of mid-20s, early 20s where you're going to get that much graft out of him, really. It's absolutely waste of time. In terms of David Moyes, mate, obviously I did a video on Michael Carrick, and the more research I done, mate, the more excited I got. I thought he was West Ham DNA, isn't he?
Yeah, I really want Carrick. I really do want Carrick. But it's the problem of actually getting him.
I think sometimes you've got to take a risk in life, Ryan, and this is a nice risk. This is a nice risk. Yeah.
What we should do is we should get Parker in as well. Get Parker in as the assistant manager.
No.
Get Noble in there. Get all of them. Get the band back together.
Yeah, it's just like if you go down the Bielsa, Benitez route, it's just the same old again, and they're on the wrong side of 50, 60, not motivated. Whereas Carrick is just making that inroads and everyone like me don't think he's a raw manager where he's played 20 games. He's been a coach 2 years at Man United, right? Yeah. And including taking charge of some games while the managers have been installed, like caretaker boss. He's had 3-4 games. He's been a coach and a player under people like Mourinho, Alex Ferguson, Van Gaal. Wow, you ain't going to get 3 better than that, mate. I'm telling you now. And other thing, Ryan, Carrot comes across as Mr. Cool, respectable, calculated, and what you're saying in his interviews, mate, was I want like just play football like we used to at school, you know. But you express yourself, show your skills. If you lose it, don't worry, you know. Try to make those dribbles, try to make those runs, and be confident with the ball at your feet. Incisive passing. He changes tactics 2-3 times during the game. Really goes for goals. It's West Ham. It's West Ham football, mate.
Yeah.
You know, and yep, he has got that West Ham little bit of history behind him, which some fans like to see. So I think, I know Rooney's failed, I know Gerrard's failed, I know Lampard has failed, I know Gary Neville has.
Where was it? On One Football.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how much you can believe into it, but it does say West Ham earmarked Michael Carrick as potential new manager.
Because one of the reasons, again, there ain't going to be the reason you, me, and saying I don't think it's going to cost that much to bring him in, and he'll quickly say yes. I think he'll be very, very keen for it. And Steve Gibson, the Middlesbrough chairman, very, very proper footballing man, been in the game for a couple of decades, and hopefully we'll be able to do, like I was saying, give him a couple of players on loan next season. But it is quite tricky because they're third or fourth.
Yeah, and will he want to go away from that?
But then, yeah, I can't say that we should have gone for him in October, because no, that's hardly any. It probably wasn't even there, hardly. But he's the one of the ones I'm kind of up for. But now, Sarri's name's come up again. The one I covered in another video, the Lazio one. He's kind of.
Is he going to leave Lazio? Lazio like third.
No. Alex is getting upset with a couple of people with Anton, my old friend from West Ham Network. I don't have time to watch any of channels, but they're all.
No, it's because they're still Moyes in.
That's that's fine. I mean, I know them lads, and whatever they're doing for, I don't understand it, but I can't have an agenda. I've just got to say how I feel. But yeah, that's up to them. But it's got to be a joke. I mean, you can't be Moyes in. No. I mean, it's got to be just a bit of a cheeky, probably taking the mick out of the fans or something. Sullivan was at the game with his son. They did the video footage, picked that up, had this big,
I saw that,
big coat on and things like that, and. You know the coats that you and me wear? I think they go up to his ankles. I think he just wears them and they go all the way down. Good comment, Roger, because Tony Gale was saying that West Ham should have been playing that diagonal ball a lot earlier in the game, but they did manage to get kind of success from it during the game. But, mate, that Bournemouth result on Saturday, that's a biggie, innit? Bournemouth beating Liverpool 1-0. That's kind of the one where, that's the one where they're neck and neck with us, mate. We're all on 24 points, bunched together. Leicester, West Ham, Bournemouth. It's very tight, mate. It is very, very tight. Ryan should be back in a minute. Cosmos. And let me just put that down again, mate. Me messing about. It is, mate. It is. It's a bit like my computer that's sliding off, mate. Let me just sort this out. There we go. Now you can see Jazz. There we go. It is. It's not very exciting. It's not really that different. Telling Souček to what's play 5 yards ahead of where you normally are, mate. We got to play two up front. And I'm afraid we've got to sacrifice Souček for Scamacca, in my view. Now that Cornet is here, then probably Cornet, Benrahma, Bowen, they should be all in the team. The manager's got to figure out how to put Scamacca, all these other exciting people on the bench we got. You know, as soon as Cornet's fit to start, you've got to think of some kind of formation to put them in, really. It's up to the manager, but we're still quite dodgy at the back, as you know. And the draw, we're at home. We really have had the best. We have had Villa kind of beating them more often than not recently, but it's just not happened today. I think we needed a win. It's very tight out there, everyone. Very, very tight. I don't know which way it's going to go. And the Europa game should be fairly easy for us to deal with, so we're able to rest some players, and then there'll be a draw after that. It's difficult. The good news is that players are beginning to get fit. Zuma's back now. Cornet's kind of getting there now. Scamacca's been waiting around for a couple of weeks now. Ings is nicely settled now, I think, even though he doesn't get any chances. So we are beginning to get our squad fit, and we are beginning to sort of get players back in the squad. Ryan, I was saying that it's very, very tight now.
Just kicked me off.
Yeah.
Pros.
Oh, no
No,
problem.
I don't know.
Yeah, what I was saying is that it's very, very tight down there. A point looks like wasn't quite enough today. And good news is that we're getting most of the players back, mate, from injury. Cornet, Skamaka's been waiting a couple of weeks for a game. Cornet's back, Zuma's back. So that's a good thing. We do have goals in our team if played the right way. That's
Yeah,
the key issue. And someone in the know was saying what it is with David Sullivan, everyone, is he's not giving him a game's target to say if you don't win this, you're out. He apparently does it on impulse. There's no planning, and you understand that there ain't no planning involved in this. So he
no.
could even decide tonight, even though we've drawn. So when we keep losing, he doesn't do it. He might even do it out of the blue, out of the feeling he's got in his gut, stomach up,
But that's
whatever.
the thing. Is today one of those must-win games, like the Everton one was, and he won the Everton one. Normally, he does win the must-win games, which always happens. But he's got a draw today, so you don't know. Well, we do know because apparently he's going to be here till even if we went into the Championship. So, but I think, well, I think he should be gone anyways. But maybe today might finally be the day. Maybe.
Yeah, he's very, very unpredictable. That's why even people in the know have not really known what's he thinking, what's the board thinking. Even though I did tell you that he controls most of that board anyway, 5, 6 people in that board of 10, 11 are his people anyway, and we really don't know what he's thinking. So it could be done at any time, any day. We don't know. The biggest reason has been they haven't really got anyone in mind. There's no planning. There's nothing. Like I kept telling you guys, when the Brighton manager came in, they knew that's his number one, and they were ready to hit him straight away. And he came. We don't have a plan. What we often do is we sack the manager, then we look around saying who's not got a job, and then approach 2, 3 of them, and then
That's 100% what's going to happen again. If he does get sacked, we will either get Benitez or Lampard, I think. That'll be the two.
whoever it'll be, it won't be expensive because I think
No.
they're thinking that Moyes' payoff is around 5 million. They're thinking plus very small payments to the backroom team. And also in there, Ryan, think about Nolan's the cheap caretaker till the end with Noble, perhaps. I don't know.
I'll probably say Noble.
That might work. But I think if Moyes stays, mate, I ain't sure this is too close. If we get another manager in, then I'm pretty confident we got the players to get out of this. Just need you just need a 2, 3 game run, and we should be. We got much better players. Well, I know it's not always that way, but when you look at Bournemouth squad and people like that, and Everton got no striker at all, mate. Got no one.
No, they've got no one.
We've got 3 at least, which
But wins. They've got to win. They win. They have won games. Well, we beat Forest, but other than that, I don't really.
No.
The draws, I think. Really.
Yeah. And looking at it, mate, there is something going on with Skamaka. It's not nice. I mean, Tyrone Mings obviously had a big fight with Gerrard, and he's back in the team, and he looked half normal, half captain material. And I thought we might go for him either when we lost Dawson, but obviously he got back in favour again. But for me, Moisey, if he stays, mate, it's too tight because I'm not sure.
Be.
I
don't know if we'll stay up if he stays.
No,
but look, it's like the stat. Every time we've sacked our manager, we've stayed up.
It's just left it so late. It's got to be. Rafa wants 3 years. That's the issue. Carrick, it's just that they're third, mate. I don't know what he feels about that. It's tricky.
But then at the same time, you're realistically going from the Championship to the Prem. You're going to a bigger club than Middlesbrough.
I think it's Nolan, and the players will be fine with that. I think it's Nolan.
Yeah, it's Nolan and Noble. I'd say Noble will be in it as well.
And that's fine. On the touchline, they'll get the fans up for it. That's fine,
yeah.
And we'll get over the line. I think that's what's going to happen. I think. Darren, how you doing, mate? Yes, we should be, Darren, especially if Bournemouth are good enough to be nearly beating. Don't forget, Bournemouth led Spurs and Arsenal 2-0, everyone, and then buckled 3-2, and then they beaten Liverpool at home. So good luck to them. Everton, again, a great victory with no strikers. Leicester, long as they've got Maddison and a couple of strikers, they've got Harvey Barnes.
just not over us. But I'd like Bournemouth to stay up. They're just like, I don't know, they're like a family club, but they're not really
Well,
anything.
don't forget, I think Southampton have got a very, very good point today.
Yeah,
They've got Ward-Prowse in their team, and well, he could do something in any game. But for me, Moyes has got to go at any point. Otherwise, it's just too risky. He's playing Russian roulette, mate. It's too tight for me. And we can see in the chat, like you, me, feel, mate. Yeah, we're not too impressed with the play. Even the AE Larnaca game was just, I nearly fell asleep. And he's still playing one up front.
Fixtures.
Yeah, Cosmos in it.
Southampton, Newcastle, Fulham, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Man United. I'd say. Oh, I don't know.
It's tight. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight.
We beat Southampton. We draw with Newcastle again. Lose to Fulham. Lose to Arsenal. Draw to Bournemouth because we always play awful away to Bournemouth whenever we've played them. Liverpool at home. Lose. Beat Palace. Beat United. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if he carries on playing one up front and this is the way we play, then it's difficult to win more games than not. Yeah. Which is game by game. We'll see. It's a very interesting situation where we do have really good players on the bench. He refuses to use them. Again, refuses to change the formation or tactics all season, even when you're down there. And I did fear the worst, mate, when we went 1-0 down. But luckily, the penalty saved us, didn't it? When you think about 100%. It.
Yeah, that's the thing. If we don't have that penalty, but realistically, right, this is anyone can answer in the chat as well. Other than that penalty, what clear chance did we have in that game? Other than Fornals, that Fornals one that he missed, because
I saw
I didn't even call that a shot.
I saw a Benrahma shot over the bar at 57 minutes. That's about it. I think that's all I saw. I think.
And the Cornet one that was offside, but obviously it's offside, so it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah. So apart from that, but.
Someone stop being negative. We didn't lose. How many people said we would get battered today?
Oh, it's Steve. It's good old Steve. How are you doing? All right, mate.
Nah, Benny is, and I mean we've got to be negative. Really, we didn't win.
Yeah, Steve. I thought Bowen was very good today. He ran his heart out today on the wing, trying to make things happen, and then didn't really have many people to reach out to. But I think we've got to improve our set pieces still, isn't it? I think so many corners, so many free kicks, fail to get on the end of them. We've got a fair bit of height in there, Agard, Zuma and Souček, and it is what it is. But Skamaka looks like, mate, he'd probably get a run out in that Europa game, which is, I don't want to say, it looks like it's a meaningless game, isn't it? Next Thursday, we're kind of 2-0 up. And then, not sure. But
And how many chances did Villa have? Villa had one last seconds of the game that was from the 6-yard box. Watkins missed the tap in.
Yeah.
They scored a goal. Villa had, they didn't have loads of chances, but they had 3 clear chances, more than we did.
Yeah, Steve, the only thing is we're at home, mate, and we've got to make it count. And our only goal came from a penalty, mate. So they scored from open play. And Watkins,
should have made it too.
Yeah, they are lacking up front, Villa as well, because obviously they gave us Danny Ings. So they got a new manager. They were kind of in and around us, but he's kind of managed to pull them a little bit above us, really. So I think because the way the results went, mate, with Bournemouth winning, we are in a worse situation in the league before the set of fixtures started, Steve. So we are in a worse position, mate. And Everton won, Bournemouth won. So for me, a point's not enough. We need to win, especially at home,
and
especially in the position we're in.
If we're saying also, how many chances did Villa have? That's just we shouldn't be giving them. Well, we should be winning the game and not even having to talk about it. So to have that as the comeback to it, I don't.
Yeah, I think, but it's a score that counts at the end.
Struggling to beat Villa, anyways.
Yeah, it's a score that counts at the end of the day. However you get the points or win, hopefully, doesn't really matter, really. But for me, it's going to be so close. I can't say either side what's going to happen. It's interesting because the board's unpredictable. We don't know. He could be gone tonight. He could stay again for another game. It just goes on, doesn't it, mate? The roller coaster. So I don't know, really. Yeah.
I mean, we got smashed 4-0 last week, so
It's not the places, Steve. It's the points, mate. Bournemouth have got 24 points. West Ham have got 24. Leicester have got 24. And then if you think about it, yeah, we're kind of far off from the others now. Everton have got 25. So it's not the places. It's you're all together now, mate. So we are worse off this weekend than before the set of fixtures started, really. That's kind of the thing, really. But anyway, do you have any man of the matches? Anything? I've got nothing more to add apart from it's just the same old, mate. Same old, same formation. Yeah.
Well, actually, to be fair, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I'm not even going to. I was going to say maybe. I'd say Areola played well, but I wouldn't give him man of the match.
I think Bowen and Benrahma together kind of because Benrahma scored a really good penalty, so you can't take that away from him. That was important, and then Bowen was quite good hard work. I think is both of them kind of did their best. I think Ings, we're not getting the best out of him, mate. He's just don't see him much in the game making anything. I don't blame him.
We're making him run. Yeah, we're making him run all the time. That's nothing gonna.
Yeah. I think Zuma got better as the game went on. He's only just made his comeback. Kehrer, again, is very, very worrying. Can't stop the crosses coming in.
Did you see with the Moreno incident where I think they highlighted it on the live stream? They're like, the ball was played in and he just ran out to Alex Moreno. Like, what is he doing? And then he just played it in behind him.
Yeah, when you often see Kehrer's winger that he's meant to be marking is often standing alone behind him. Very, very often you can ping it to him diagonally and Kehrer's not there. So he's always going to be an issue till we obviously solve this issue in the summer. Emerson is ticking along, I think, okay. Agard's got to stop those mistakes in him because, we have conceded a few.
He has got a lot of mistakes in him. Bit clumsy.
Yeah, and Paqueta, again, I think there's much more to come from him. Hopefully, new manager will be able to do that. I don't think Moyes is going to do anything else. Rice, a lot of people said, mate, they're not happy with Rice, I'm hearing.
He wasn't very good today.
Yeah, a lot of people are kind of not happy with him, really. So that's kind of our summary, really. It's kind of, for me, I think a win was needed because of the way the other results went. And it's ever so tight in there now, mate. And
also, realistically, 1 point doesn't help us out as much as 3 points would have. So I'd have rather, I wouldn't rather not have the point, but I'd rather have Moyes have gone for it at the end. But it looked like we were the ones hanging on, really, in the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen in the Premiership, Yeah, anything can happen. Because they were making more substitutions than us and a lot earlier, and they were kind of... When you do make substitutions, Ron, you can tell the team picks up another 5-10% in the game, whereas 55, 60 minutes, you can see the team beginning to tire and they want that changes made. So we're not making the most of that, I think. No. Apart from that, I think that's it from me, mate. On to, I think, just keep watching the West Ham news pages every hour, see if there's any more managers linked, any more changes happening.
I just don't think he'll be gone. I don't think he'll be gone. From what's been said, and also that we got smashed 4-0 last week, I thought he was dead certain gone last week.
Yeah, I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure about that now. I mean, I think, like you said, it's so unpredictable. Even the people who know Sullivan are saying he's on instinct, mate. He doesn't plan anything, and if one night, one evening, he just feels like it, he's just going to do it. And like I said, largely sits with him within the board. If he decides to strike, then they all will follow and back him. And that'll be done. But whatever plan they've got for whoever they're interviewing and tapping up, and I ain't got a clue, mate. And we're not very proactive in those terms. So it is interesting. And on the last note, the atmosphere I thought was very, very flat throughout the game. Not much going on. All you could hear was the Villa fans.
Why is it going to be good? What does it? Everybody's going there knowing what they're going to see. It's not exciting football, is it? Football is entertainment sport at the end of the day, and he's never been entertaining in his life, Moyes.
It is, mate. Oh God, Steve's on the Budweisers. I think he's not gone, mate. He's not gone. He's still there. But anyway, thank you everyone for joining in. It's a point. It's neither here or there, and it's much more tighter at the bottom. But Mr. Moyes, please consider playing two up front, take Souček out, try Skamaka up front, and certainly, try to make your substitutes a lot earlier, and you can see what Cornet can bring to the field when you've got more more kind of players like that, more creative players, given the license to try to make things happen. And yeah, you're just wasting Danny Ings really, and Paqueta's frustrated figure at times. And yeah, just get back on the training field, and the back four have got to work a bit harder and keeping together and looking at who's marking who, especially Kehrer. Agard needs to improve on that as well. But yeah, you're going to be going Thursday? You're going to be there?
Yeah, I'm probably going to go Thursday.
I'll give you a buzz. I'm going to be there. I might take half a day off, get there earlier, and if you want to link up before, we'll link up for whatever. All right, take care, everyone.
Right,
thanks. West Ham Lions channel, West Ham 1, Villa 1. Take care, everyone.